Hello and welcome to week 3 of the Classic League. Today's game is against Get Paper Scissors versus Battleground of the Gods. This will be an interesting game. Both teams have pulled out amazing Phoenix defenses in their past games. So I'm very curious to see which sort of way the teams will line up and see if they are working towards that more late game Phoenix defense, or will they try and bring out something new? I know Get Paper Scissors have been scrimming a lot against Medium Bots, who are the top rated team at the moment in this league. And as we see the first couple of bands come out, we have Pele on the side of Battlegrounds of the Gods and Arthur on the side of Get Paper Scissors. Third also banned out. And let's have a quick look at the last ban, and it will be a Merlin also banned out. Bit surprised not to see an Agni ban, as Battlegrounds of the Gods did have a lot of issues with Agni last week. Whether they've been practicing against an Agni and if they can bring something up. I know Camberlin has played a couple of Agni games, but I think she's more familiar with that Discordia, and Nevaeh is her comfort pick is really that Scylla, as we see Bacchus locked in on the side of Battleground of the Gods. Followed by Shibalonke being hovered over. Shibalonke still with a very high pick rate but a very low win percentage, so we'll see how that sort of plays out as Shibalonke and that Agni is locked in. So the god that gave Battlegrounds of the Gods a lot of trouble last week is coming back. Let's hope they can deal with it this week. And we get the Awilix to be locked in now. I believe this might be... Yeah, this is Awilix's first game in the Classic League. She has been banned out once, and with Jingwei locked in at the ADC, there are a lot of knockups for her to work off. So this could be a bit tricky for Get Paper Scissors here, as they counteract their Awilix with the Ratatoska. So I can see they're drafting a slightly earlier game pick. Awilix is quite strong in the early game, but if Rat goes for the Acorn Rush at the start, we could see some more problems for Nevaeh in that mid lane. As the bans come out, we see the Hera ban obviously targeting that mid lane. The RTO, very popular ban as well. She's been picked up quite a few times and has quite a good win percentage in regards to that. Okay, apologies about that. As there they go, they take away that comfort pick of Scylla in the mid lane, which is combated by the Bellona. So it'd be very interesting to see what mid is actually picked up on the side of Battleground of the Gods here, as Fafnir is locked in. Fafnir being a very strong character, able to really enhance those auto attacks on Shibalonke. Not really any other auto attack characters, so I imagine that Fafnir and Shibalonke will stay quite close together throughout the game. Oh, maybe not, as we see the Achilles locked in. Achilles again, very high picks and bans, and averaging about 2/3 win rate at this stage of after 2 weeks of competition in this league. So, who would they use to target that Achilles, because Achilles has been very, very strong. I would like to see if the mana picked up, to be honest, because I think the mana has been very underrated in this league. He's been banned out quite a lot, but he's not really played too many games. As we see that Cullen being locked in, and Cullen also being a very strong solo laner. Poseidon gets locked in for mid.
Let's go.
Hopefully that cripple should affect the Agni and also the Ratatuska if they dash in on the Poseidon. That's a lot of safety, and that is what I like to see, that the mana locked in. Be very interesting to see how these sort of teams match up. As the final pick does get locked in as Athena. So I imagine that will be an Athena Shibalonke lane. That is a lot of high pressure as well, but Bacchus and Jingwei also do have that high pressure as we begin to go into the match. So in that drafting phase, it seems like a lot of these teams have gone for that early stage. Apologies for any interruptions during this game. I try my best to mute them so they don't interrupt the gameplay too much. As back has taken a while to load in, and we should be good to go. Again, Rat not really going for that Acorn Rush, so just going to play it safe and really farm up the jungle. Will we see any invade starts? Have these teams been practicing it? We see Bacchus kind of going down that mid lane. He does have a couple of wards in hand, so I imagine this is just to put a couple of safe wards out. But again, very early for that sentry, but maybe they're expecting this Rat to gank very early on. Are they expecting to lose that mid pressure based on those ward placements? I would have liked to see a ward around here just to see if that Rat did do the Acorn Rush and see if he was going to gank that mid lane early. But a lot of early wards coming out. It doesn't look like anyone's going to invade. Bacchus going for that horrific to really slow down any potential ganks, whereas the Athena picking up that shell. As we see Jingwei pushed quite high up, trying to get a bit of early pressure on that wave. And it looks like this Dura lane will really outclear the Athena and Shibalonke. Can they turn any of this pressure onto the Athena? Athena is really out of position. The horrific is down, Shell is out. Athena down to about 100 HP, one auto away. Can anyone land that auto? And I think they just have to give up that kill. Athena with a lot of health pots, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. And Poseidon might be in a bit of trouble mid. Rat is rotating underneath. The stun is good, but the cripple does stop that Agni incoming. And yep, maybe it's as they expected as they go over that low ward, but don't elect to go for that red buff. As Awilix begins to sort of clear out that red buff. At this early stage of the game on the Awilix, I do prefer Awilix to hit the two smaller minions first because it clears them out after you use that 2 ability rather than going for that big ability, as we do see in the duo lane. There was a purple buff invade, they do manage to secure their purple buff. And that purple buff going onto the Jingwei. Oh, because they invaded the other purple buff. That is a very good pickup, but the rat is hanging around. We expand. Rat dashes in on the back of stun, just off the mark. Knock up is good. Can a Wheelix rotate in? Does get the knock up on that Athena. I think we're all good for the moment. Just a lot of early pressure as those branching boulders really knocking that Bacchus down. He's only got one of that health pot left. Athena has used up all of them though. And I think they will rotate and try and get these oracles for a bit of XP. This could leave them vulnerable when they come back into lane. Just keep an eye on this. Solo lane appears just to be outboxing each other, but I don't expect too much unless someone tries to rotate for those going. And the Bacchus does block that Athena. Knock up is good. Can they get the Shibalonke? Shibalonke having to dash out. 1 HP Shibalonke managing to escape, get paper scissors. As we see a Wheelix looking for that blue buff, getting onto Suku and running away. Nice idea, but just not able to do too much at this early stage of the game. At the moment, it looks like we're pretty even across the board. As Duo go up to invade this purple buff yet again. Rat is looking for this blue buff. The buff itself is down, the stun is just off the mark and having to dash out, but there was a couple of abilities used by the Vamana that wasn't needed in that engagement, and that should secure get paper scissors that totem of Q. And they did get that purple buff, so both team members with that purple buff, they will lose a whole million XP away from this. Jingwei dashing round. Knock up is good. Will that be first blood? Not quite. Again, Jingwei escaping with about 50 HP. Be a little bit careful. Athena does get the taunt off. Dash away is good, but if Shibalonke's ult comes up, which I don't believe it will, in time. Rat is rotating over. He hasn't quite got his ult to sort of get in this fight, but will he manage to pick them off as they rotate for that purple buff? Oof, that is a dangerous back. Rat does dash in, does get the stun, and it does pick up first blood. The wards they placed on this side of the map seem to go down. I think they would have gone down a couple of minutes ago, and they've just not had the reason to back and get more wards out as of yet. But it's not a big deal for Jingwei. Her passive allowing her to get back to lane quicker. She won't lose too much of this XP. But giving up first blood to that Rat will really look to work off this from here. As Agni is low in the mid lane, Wheelix doesn't have link. Suku gets the knock up. The ult is good. And that is a confirmed kill. Also getting that Shibalonke ult to try and save the Agni. But needs to be a bit careful here with the Rat rotating with full mana. But Rick should just drop here and confirm his speed buff or go back to base. As Jingwei, I think, is a bit out of position here. Don't think they know Gokunator's here, but just placing those wards. So at the moment we're 1 for 1. Interesting to note, solo Achilles has got a first level of boots and is really out clearing this for mana at the moment. Whether that will translate to kills, both their teleports are down for quite a while at the moment. As taunt is good, but I don't think there's going to be any follow-up damage from that Shibalonke at this stage. He's looking to dash in. Will they manage to get a knock up here? No. Poseidon ult is down for the moment. Interesting that Agni has elected to go into beads rather than the Aegis, which pretty much should mean as soon as Poseidon gets his ult up, he should be casting that on that Agni. As Rat picks up another kill in mid lane, Bacchus ult is forced out. The ult is good. Can they find the Athena? Rat should manage to escape. Very early Aegis from Levea there. But I don't think Get Paper Scissors will be able to find too much out of this. Kitty's looking to place a couple of wards down, possible invade, but there's nothing really up to invade at the moment. As Bacchus will farm the midway to get this XP as Get Paper Scissors take these oracles down. If you look at the charts, about 1,500 each way in the side of Get Paper Scissors. That would be first blood, and I think just a little bit of better farming from that solo lane. As Kitty's again will secure this Totem of Coup. Looks to dash in towards that mana. The mana about half HP with no mana. With the blue buff, shouldn't be too bad. Should be able to clear this wave, but not sure quite about stepping out of line. So that Umbrella Ring does come back and deal more damage on the way back, but taking that side step means it missed a lot of that minion wave and having to use a second one to clear the wave, as the Wheelix could be in trouble if her speed is about to spawn. About half health. The mana is rotating. The Athena ult is coming out. Mana could be in trouble here. His ult is not quite up, and he will fall to the execute. Poseidon's rotating over. Rat's very low HP, but I think they should all just about get out here. But Wheelix is rotating around. Does pick up the Rat. Will she get the double kill on the Athena? Yes, she does. Can she turn her attention to the Achilles? Achilles with a nice side juke into the jungle, but 3 of them chasing him. His boots aren't online. Knock up is good. The Shibboleth ult stunning out the 3 members. His blue buff possibly will be invaded. They don't have a lot of mana here. Can he secure his blue buff? He cannot, and that blue buff goes straight onto the Bacchus. So that's a good counter rotation from Battleground of the Gods. The 3 kills go into the Wheelix. Puts her sort of back in line, or I would say just ahead of the Rat at this stage, but Rat did get first blood, so it's more even than the 3-to-1 kills do suggest. So we have a quick look in mid, we see that Aggie 2 levels above Nevea, just hitting 9, so it's about 1.5 levels at this stage. But securing those mid camps, back as trying to burp in, steal their XP. Not sure which way that fell. But, are they going to triple split this mid wave? Rat does try and go into the jungle, but takes the minion with him. As we are back to a sort of standoff. Ratatuska just placing that sentry ward around Gold Fury. That will be a big objective that will get fought over. Everyone seems to have an ult up apart from that Shibboleth K. Oracles will fall here to the side of Get Paper Scissors. Bacchus does jump in. I think he's overextended. Will he manage to get out? Rat ult is in the air. Shibboleth K is now rotating. Xingwei about half health as well. And Rat decides against it and just jumps out back to mid lane. So that is the Bacchus ult. Side note on that Rat. Not able to do enough damage, but it does allow them to secure their red buff safely. But will they lose the T1 in mid? Bacchus having to jump over, trying to clear the way before the damage is really put out into this tower. And they do manage to save it. It's probably about 200 health at the moment. So it's not quite walk in and auto it. It'll take maybe 3 or 4 hits to actually go down to one of these characters. But so far, even game. Get Paper Scissors seem to have a little bit more of the map pressure. If they're able to get that mid tower down, that is a huge win for them, because the margin of safety between that tower and the Gold Fury is a lot less. And if they can really get that Poseidon when the T2 is a very long way away, as Darkest Night does come out from the Shibboleth K, the Wheelix gets stunned out and Achilles managing to escape. Managing to secure those back XP camps. The stun is good from the Rat. Having to go on super dash is good. Wheelix out on 1 HP. The rat will probably back out onto this Vermana. Vermana does get knocked up, but that is it. That was a great play from Wheelix, going back into the team saying, if you're going to drop down and kill me, my team are going to kill you. And Rat just having to try and put that damage on someone, making it the Vermana. The Vermana does manage to teleport back to solo lane as we do see Shivalon-K really working out this T1 tower. I think he's got enough damage before Xingwei gets hit. He does. And that will be the first tower falling to the side. Get paper scissors. As we go back into mid, Agni dashes in. Needs to be a little bit careful. Those bombs don't cost any mana, but his mana is low if they were to go in with every other ability. Still not got in. Still not hit level. Well, he has hit 12, but he hasn't managed to go back for that Aegis. They might be able to invade here, as they know oracles are about to spawn. This could be a 4-on-3 fight if the mana's rotating over. The mana's teleport is down, so this could be a free T1 as the oracles go down. I don't see any circle on the ground, so I don't know if anyone's picked it up. It does get her 2 off. That's good for Kraken. And Khan will fall to the Bear. Kraken. They managed to get paper scissors all the way back. Kane's low in mid, so this should be a Gold Fury. Can this Athena do anything to stop this? I think just showing her face to see if she can force them off this. Get the dash ready. Battleground of the gods do confirm the first Gold Fury. And that begins to swing that gold difference back towards that middle ground. Now we're only 1,200 apart. But that mid tower is looking awful low. As we look towards itemization, not too much out of the ordinary here. Shibalon-K is a level behind the Jingwei, but Jingwei passive, you sort of expect that. Shibalon-K has got that T1 tower, so he is managing to outpressure. The Transcendence is the right call, but seeming to go into that Itchy Valve rather than get some lifesteal online. I don't know how that will play out in this trade between Jingwei, who I think would probably go for an Executioner Exilium, as Jingwei should be able to get out from this rat. Oh, nope, stun is good. Forcing the ult out of the Jingwei. Don't think Rat's got any chase available, as the beads are elected instead of the blink. A lot of ward vision around this Duva lane. Jingwei would just clear out for the XP before backing. And Battleground of the Gods, I think managing to get this T1 tower due to minions. Will they manage to take it? Yes, they do. Backers flopping into the middle, not able to find anyone. The stun is good on the Athena, but not going to be much follow up here. But Shibalon-K has used that Darkest Night. I believe Weeks had to beast to make sure she didn't get stunned out of that. I think jump is good. Rat is in the back line. Can they find the follow up kill? Yep. Poseidon is good on that kill. Backers ult in that back line. Can he pick up the Athena? Can he pick up anyone? Nope. And Rat is about half HP going for those mid camps. Please be a bit careful. The Backers does flop onto the Rat. But not too much follow-up damage from that. So Achilles just sort of really going into the jungle and stealing XP away from Battleground of the Gods here. Currently with that 2 level advantage due to just farming better really and getting these invades off. But again, like I said earlier, Jingwei a level up on the Shibalon-K, as I believe she dived into the tower to get that kill on the Shibalon-K, and this could be a T1 for the side of Battleground of the Gods. Athena is rotating over, so She might be able to save it. I think, yeah, this is the right call. Just drop, grab those oracles,
Let the fires
and head back to
rise.
base. Jingwei, not a lot of mana. I imagine the ult was used to confirm the kill on the Shiblonge, but that is not a good place to back with Agni just around the corner. He would have gone over a ward. Very lucky, and that is a win, presuming 2 of those Agni bombs are down, which I think at this stage of the game with Agni with about 20% cooldown, we'll be back up in about 16 to 17 seconds, so I don't think they can force a fight between now and then. So you see a bit of positioning for these mid XP camps. Ratatoska is standing on a ward, and they do fall to the side of Battleground of the Gods. I suppose the solo lane is now sort of proxy farming, just playing it safe, grabbing what they can. There is Jingwei rotation. She would have just walked over a ward. Will they manage to turn this around on her? Knock up is good on the Athena. A lot of damage incoming. That is good cracking from the Poseidon. Mana rotating in. Shiblonge ulting to give his team a bit of separation. And that is one ult for one ult. But the very high damaging ult on Battlegrounds of the Gods is used up. Gold Fury about to spawn. I believe this one will be that only Fury. So having the Kraken down for that is not ideal. Especially when Poseidon has not elected to rush into cooldown. But the Dankross will give Nevera a lot more sustain against that Agni. So Agni is around here. Agni Agent is good, but will they pull to the Jingwei? Yep. Well, is a good zoning area. The Rat does drop into that backline. Jingwei having to ult out. Aegis down on the Poseidon as Hihai does find the kill on the Rat, and this is 5v3 at the moment. Health-wise, it is in the favour of Get Paper Scissors if they can find something, as Hihai does try and rush into that backline, but will fall to the Shibolonke. If you look at the player damage charts, Shibolonke about 8,000. I believe he needs 10,000 to get his passive fully stacked. So we see Battleground of the Gods gesture towards that Gold Fury, but Achilles managed to find the kill. Shibolonke finding the kill on the Jingwei. I don't think Baxter's got enough to escape here. The knockup is good. Pull back. And they don't quite find the Shibolonke. This should be a Gold Fury for Get Paper Scissors. That was some very close margins. Unfortunately, the fight just falling to Get Paper Scissors there. And yep, as you can see, the gold was about even. Now it's had a huge swing in the past. What is that, minute? Back down to 3,000, and the XP difference is really beginning to swing in the favour of Get Paper Scissors here, about 7,000. As that T1 does fall. The mana in the solar lane managing to pick up the T1 in a little bit of response, but needs to be very careful he doesn't get rotated and ganked here. But I believe Get Paper Scissors will just go for that Pyromancer. They have got wards on the Agni, so I am expecting a couple of wards to come out around this Fire Giant. Nope, I think the call is to go on the Vamana. Vamana's dash is good, and that should see him to safety. So in theory, I did like this Vamana pick into the Achilles, but it's just not really paid off for them at the moment. I am surprised to see Achilles going to Shogun's Kasari. Presuming the only really attack speed gods are that Shibolonke. Rat is more ability based. If he can get his stun off and his 2, that is pretty much a dead mid laner or ADC, as Bacchus does jump in. Don't believe he managed to secure the buff, and he is low on health. The shell is good, as Rat does jump into the middle 3. The Kraken is good, picking up the Rat. Venusaur also good, managing to find the Jingwei, as Shibolonke will chase down these kills. I think we'll get turned on. But I think the Assy passive there proccing and allowing him to heal up enough, as Bacchus is in trouble from that Athena taunt. Can they chase down this kill and get this kill? And they do, but the kill falling onto the Athena. Poseidon needs to be a little bit careful here mid. He's not got T1 to fall back to. They are rotating. And they will just go the safe route for mana. Also, not in the best position for full health. Shouldn't worry him too much right now. Athena taunt is good on the mana. That is a good well pull out. Having to Aegis those two Agni bombs. I think Agni Aegis also down to prevent any of the mana damage, and they will turn their attention towards Fire Giant, I believe. At least try and get some wards around it. Currently carrying a lot of wards in hand, but not really putting them around that Fire Giant at the moment. Interesting. So, get paper scissors really with that advantage right now. About 7k XP difference. About 4,000 gold difference. If we have a quick look at characters, that gold appears to be pretty much on the solo laner and the ADC, as we do now see them rotating towards Fire Giant. Battlegrounds of the Gods currently with the ward advantage, but that just get taken over by Get Paper Scissors. I believe that is Athena's passive down. Those blocks have been taken out by that Jingwei there. Interesting to see that they've gone for a knock-up team, but Wheelix electing not to go into the Jonah Wrath for that full CDR, elected instead to go into Crusher, which does put out a lot more damage. And Rat seeming to go for a hybrid build with that Antil as a bit of defense along with the Void Shield. Interesting that it's on both the characters when I don't believe Void Shield stacks, as we do see them begin to dive to the backline, Jingwei having to dash out. Rat get knocked up in the air, beads are used. Poseidon auto silencing out them from that Antil on the Rat. As Achilles will try and find these kills in the backline. Shell is good, he having to ult out, but for mana I believe will get picked up in the backline. Well, the front line trying to zone them out as Whirlpool is down. Will Poseidon fall to the Achilles? Yes. They look to zone out. Jablonke dashing in. I don't think he's got enough to really kill. Sprint was used. They are fighting now in Titan area. And they do pick up the Bacchus. They will also get the T1 on that left hand side, but it looks a bit Get Paper Scissors, so that is a huge win for them. As they rotate towards Fire Giant. No one on the side of Battleground of the Gods is up enough to contest it. Maybe a Wheelix can steal it, but it might be a bit close. Just getting zoned out by the Athena. Agni is low in that backline, but he should have 3 bombs to really. It's good, and I think a Wheelix should just give this up. Don't get caught out of position. And the Athena taunt on the Wheelix is good enough to proc her Magus, and that is down for another minute. As these Battleground of the Gods look to set up their Phoenix defense. They will grab this Gold Fury to sort of stem that lead back in their favor. But at this stage, there is a huge difference in the itemization. As we can see, it's about 100 gold, maybe 50 gold per minute between each character. And as we hit the 26-minute mark, that is a huge amount of gold difference. As we see Xingwei actually keeping up with that Xbalanque, but again, bringing it back to the passive, it is allows her to get back to lane quicker and really farm up. A bit surprised, presumably Agni has been involved in a lot of fights, but not able to really secure any kills or even assist in them. So Poseidon and Agni's gold is about the same at this stage of the game. The only difference appearing to be that the solo lane is about 2,500 gold ahead. As we do see the Athena taunt come in to that backline, forcing the beats out of the Jingwei. Achilles does get knocked back by the Poseidon. Agni bombs are good, forcing the Aegis now out of the Jingwei as Bacchus does fall to the Achilles. The mana just trying to push out their damage. Is that beads or is that Magis? That was Magi's on the Awelix. Will she look to re-engage? I believe Get Paper Scissors will take the safe route and go for this right side T2. I think Athena has the right idea that Jingwei doesn't have any relics up. As Poseidon does just well pull them out. Having that Gem of Isolation will slow them down on the whirlpool as Rattle is looking for that Jingwei, but she managed to go away. Good ult from the Awelix. The Phoenix will fall, but will they be able to pick anything up? Oh, in fact the Rat picks up Key High. And this just got a little bit harder, the 5v4, but it looks like Get Paper Scissors will back out for the moment. I believe that was a ping towards Gold Fury, but Gold Fury not being up for another 2 minutes 20 seconds. I don't think this is the right call. I do believe Battlegrounds Gods were the last one to pick up when I think Fire Giant was falling, so we'll have a reset. This will allow Battlegrounds Gods to farm up and see if they can get any of their players up to that level 20. Jing is already hitting 20, not quite full build, still has to sell that Hunter's Blessing. I was going to say, how much gold in hand does Jing have? 1800. That might be enough to complete an item. I am surprised this Jing hasn't gone into crit. Human, her passive does allow those crits to be used. If you look at the damage, she is top damage for her team, so what she did is working in context to this game, but I don't think if you pick up a Jingwei, even if it's just for the knockout for that Awelix, I still think you need to build crit. They do seem to be positioned around the Skull Fury, but it is still down for about another minute. Black has got out of position, stun is good, the taunt is good, he'll have to belly flop out. The mana in the backline just harassing, forced into that ult. Getting the beats on the Agni. Again, Awelix was only 10% cooldown. Quick look. Yep, that ult is still down for another minute, so there's not really much they can capitalise on with that. Oh. As we see Poseidon having to go deal with those minions, 5 minutes pushed in that right lane as Get Paper Scissors look to set up around Fire Giant. And Fire Giant has spawned and they are starting it up. Only Awelix close by. Bacchus is closing the gap. I don't think he's got time to make it. Nope. And the Fire Giant will fall to Get Paper Scissors relatively free. So I think Battlegrounds, the Awelix needs to confirm the speed buffer and then get back into that base and defend on those Phoenixes as Rat does dash in on the Helix. Doesn't manage to hit the stun. Phoenix does taunt the back as... I think that's just to drag the team back out. Darkest of Night is used. The Rat is going into the air. Falling into the middle of the team, not quite managing to hit anyone with that knockup. The Agni Bombs do come out, and the Agni Bombs pick up the Helix. Jingwei having to dash out. I don't think anyone's got the follow-up on her, but they should be able to force this Phoenix, and the mana is low, and does get picked up by that Shibalonke. Side of Whirlpool does get taunted by the Athena. Agni managing to dash in. Can they get the kill on the Poseidon? Poseidon should be back in the base. And Gokinator does pick up the double kill, but it doesn't matter as the Titan falls. And Get Paper Scissors take game number 1. So that was a very good game. A little bit different. I think Get Paper Scissors scrimming has really sort of paid off for them. They went more for the aggressive team, and it managed to really work itself out with the Shibalonke really carrying with 9 and 2. If we go into details, we can have a quick look at the player damage before we move on to the next game. Shibalonke with about 30k damage compared to the Jingwei's 21. Wow, there is a big sort of margin of damage between everyone apart from really the mid laners who are roughly even. But yeah, that was a good win for Get Paper Scissors. As we will now go into game number 2 as we don't seem to have a pick ban phase. I think maybe something messed up on their side and they've had to replay the game, so we won't be able to see the pick and ban, so we'll just go straight into the match. Okay, as we head into game 2, let's have a quick look to see what the teams are and how they will line up. So this is Battleground of the Gods versus game state is best of 3. Get Paper Scissors currently being 1 up. Okay. So, no, we've got the ADCs. We've definitely got the mids. Imagine that's jungle. I imagine that's the way around that one will go. And it does look like we're going to have Ares in that solo lane. Interesting. So this matchup between Ares and Artie, I think Ares does have the early game advantage. I don't think his level 1 clear is going to be particularly good, especially with that Guardian's Blessing. Let's have a quick look, see which ability he elects to go for first. I would go for my 3 here because it's guaranteed clear. If he goes for his 1 first, RTO only has to step up and he's going to have a hard time hitting the RTO and the minions to get all 3 chains off. So I think he's just training the jungle, making sure there is no invade incoming. Again, like last game, we do see a couple of early wards out from Battleground of the Gods. This game, Get Paper Scissors not doing that. We'll check in a moment if they have any wards in hand. As we do see Ares electing to go into his chains, so and Get Paper Scissors all going into those pots, so no early wards for them. I don't think this is the right start because, yeah, as we see, RTO immediately stepping up, managing to hit RTO with the first chain, managing to get the minions, but that second chain, so Artio should outclear this lane as we go into the duo lane. We got Cern and Bacchus. Sorry, Cern versus Bacchus. Bacchus about half HP. Geb also about half HP, but they should be able to heal this up. It'll be interesting to see how this Awilix works if she goes into cooldown first, as I'm not sure who got those mid camps, but Discordia could be in a bit of trouble if the Sash is good. And Naja will just go into the back away, but Awilix is get out of position here. The stun is good on the Awilix. Flames do come out. I think she'll dash away. The ring bounce not quite got the distance to go off the minions onto the Awilix, and she will confirm the red buff and heal up from that Assassin's Blessing. Also interesting that Agni has elected to go into that Aegis rather than the beads for the Awilix. There is a lot of knock-ups on Get Paper Scissors. Not sure if that's the right call. As we do see Naja coming up, the ring toss is good, stun is good, the dash just off the mark, but I think Exilium will escape as the Awilix does rotate in, gets the knock up. That is Aegis from the Agni. Not sure if that was needed there, but better to be safe than sorry than give up first blood in this early stage of the game. Sen does get the root off, the knock up is good on the back as 300, 200 HP. Yep, also quite low. I believe this one keeps her out to nothing. Bacchus with no more health potions in hand. Does have those multi-pots to keep him sustained, but with his mana not quite low, I don't think he wants to use them quite yet. So I imagine this will be a rotation for those oracles to get early vision on that gold fury. This middle lane Discordia really pressuring out that Agni, managing to get a slight lead, but beads having to be used. Again, not sure if that was the right call, with all Agni really able to do dash in, and the stun is good on the Agni. Agni dash is down. I think the stun was more of a precaution, as we do see Naja in that backline will pick up the Awilix. Awilix managed to dash out with very little mana. Just enough to keep the escape going. Bacchus rotating into this mid lane. Will Naja get caught out? No, I think they'll just pass in the night and go confirm some XP buffs as Ares picks up the RTO in the solo lane. The sash is good. Knock up just off the mark. The ult from Exilium. I think that's more zoning. The stun is good. The beads having to be popped by that Naja to make sure no damage is coming, and Geb rotates to make sure they secure this red buff. But it will be triple split. That's not going to be great for any of them. Really needing to hit 5, but they should be able to get it off this mid wave. So Ares managing to pull out a 2-level lead because of the kill on the RTO early on. RTO now with a bit more movement advantage. She might be able to dodge some of those chains and go in her way, but there's a lot of minions built up. No one really fighting over that total coup at the moment. Don't believe once before. As Ares managing to get all 3 chains off, the flames to come out, the stun having to come from the RTO as she runs away with 200 health. High really in a lot of trouble in this lane. So Awilix really might need to help out the solo laner, but she's able to heal up, keeping her sort of sustained in this lane at the moment. As Naja is rotating. Sorry, I did mean the Naja rather than the Awilix. Awilix will be helping out the Ares. Blue buff is up. Naja trying to secure it, but no, it will go down to Get Paper Scissors. Naja about 300 HP. And Totemoku will be claimed for Battleground of the Gods, but Ares managing to get that blue buff. So interesting, Agni electing to try and complete that bank cross rather than go boots first. That will be a lot of early game damage, but the movement might leave him at a disadvantage to that rotating a Wheelix or even to Scordia if she elects to go into those boots first. Scordia with about 2,000 gold in hand, not a lot of mana, so I am expecting a back soon. We'll see which one she picks up if she goes straight into that Corona's Pendant. But I think she's got the flexibility to sort of go either way, knowing that Agni is going to rush that bank cross right now. Duo lane just poking each other out. Go back to solo lane. That was a mischain. The issue with Ares in the solo lane, if you're using those chains to clear, let's see if he's leveling up his free or his chains. He is leveling up those chains. So if you are using those chains to clear, you really need to hit them, or really sacrifice and go for the minion wave instead of the RTO, but then you're missing out a lot of damage on the second as we see a rotation coming out from the back as the back block is just off the mark. Wheelix does have ultimate if they can get that knock up, but I think they'll just go back and look towards mid lane.
I may or may not.
That is good positioning from the Agni, knowing he doesn't have boots, really staying behind the tower line, losing a couple of minions XP to the tower, but managing to secure the rest and not being able to get knocked up by the Bacchus for that Wheelix ult. Played it very safe at this stage, I do not blame the Veya for that. Stun is good on the Agni, but there shouldn't be too much follow-up from that. Well, we have see a fight around these neutral farm in mid. Sun is rotating. The ult is good from the Sun. Stun is good. Agni bomb does go down, and they do manage to find the Bacchus. Will they go for the Discordia? Discordia will escape. The Apple managing to do enough distraction to stop the Narja. Narja did I don't know if the ult was just out of range or the CC from the Apple was enough to stop the ult going off, but either way that is a good win for Get Paper Scissors there, not having to deal with that Narja ult for quite a while at the moment. And managing to hold on to those beats most importantly. As interestingly, we do see Discordia did get the boots online, so Agni will have to play more safe. Discordia is going to be able to rotate more, pick up farm, and will probably get the lead in that middle lane. But instead of trying to complete the Cronus Pendants, appearing to go into the Spear of Desolation immediately for a bit more pen. I'm not sure which item she'll go and complete first, but interesting. I think if you're going for Spear of Desolation, as Bacchus jumps in, the ult is good on the Veya. Aegis is out, Geb shield should stop any follow-up damage. Wheelix is looking in the jungle, but finds the Narja. Narja about half HP. Narja is still down as the the Agni bombs do come raining down, and that would just force Wheelix away. But going back to this Discordia, if you are going to go Spear of Desolation second item, I do think you need to build it instead of that Chrono Start, as Bacchus does jump in on the ADC. The ADC speed's down, the ult is down, stun is good. Discordia stun just off. And here comes the Apple. Not quite managing to find the edge of that wall that would have sent it back to tower. Just a sort of straight backwards and forward shot. Unfortunate there from Discordia, as they got oracles for the goal of Fury Vision. And Cern with those Devourer's gauntlets, he looks like he's using the Autumn stance, which will shred protections from the person he is boxing. But the lifesteal will keep him in lane as a Wheelix picks up Nevaeh at their red buff. The red buff was secured, so Cern might have the ability to go pick this up. But I think he's just electing to go get the farmers. He's not sure where they are, but he should have seen that they all went back to mid. Will they manage to push down this T1 tower? As he does pick up that red buff now. And he will chase the Discordia into lane. The stun is just off the mark, but there's a lot of damage. As the back assault is good. We know Bleeds are down for this engagement. The stun is good. Oh, it's good. Geb's shield is great, keeping his ADC alive, but now Geb is slightly out of position. It's a 4-man rotation. Naja slashing in, managing to get the ult out of the Jingwei. And I believe that will be it for now. Discordia staying quite a long time here, presumably she only has about 300 health. And Naja is still up, and a couple of those ring bounces, if the minion wave is cleared, would be a lot of damage even on a support. Well, I was going to say a support Naja, but sorry, the jungler on the Naja side, especially with Jotun's fully built now. As we see RTO really pushing this minion wave in, Ares really struggling to clear. Still has that level lead from the early kill and the early sort of pressure he was able to put off, but I think RTO is really back in this lane right now. The reinforced boots compared to the penetration boots allowing her to tank just a little bit more damage, as we do see Naja rotating around to see if he can get the blue buff, and Gokinator will fall in the duo lane right now. We have a quick look. Awilix ult is down, so maybe we just caught out of position a bit. As Awilix does ult a bit. Ult is still up if she managed to get a shot. Beads were good.
Sauce on it.
Now, I understand that Beads cool, but I believe Awilix would have been just out of range to even activate the ultimate. So Awilix ult's still up. Beads down on the Naja. And of course Agni not electing for the beads. That could come in useful as Jingwei drops the speed buff for Awilix. A little bit interesting. Usually junglers will complain that their XP is getting stolen from them, but I guess Awilix does have a slight lead, so trying to give your ADC a little bit of an advantage in that lane is also a good idea, as the Geb shield has to be used for the Bacchus flop. This is a 3-on-1 if they can really focus this Bacchus down. The stun is good on the Bacchus. And the horrific was used to zone them away. As we see RTO versus Ares, Ares managing to really push down that lane a bit more. The Hamble blue buff just down, but I think it's going to spawn, but I don't think he knows that. As he would just try and confirm the Totem of Coup for his team. Again, this is a very hard objective point. Ares to sort of claim unless RTO comes and tries and box him. Really doesn't have that damage output. Looking to mid, Geb just zoning out as Awilix goes after the Sun again. Zernal is good. The sash from Big Rick picking up the Awilix. Awilix, I imagine, trying to go for that repeat performance of what happened last time on the rotation, but Background's gone twice to it this time. Discordia is slightly out of position. Can Agni get a stun off? No, unfortunately. They will pick up their red buff here. Jingwei just lurking around the corner. I don't believe anything to really be farmed. I think everyone will get back to farming. And the solo laners will just fight amongst themselves. Again, that is a lot of damage on the Alto, but she can just heal it up and he's not really hitting any of the minions. Get rotate, rolling out round the back. Will we get Discordia? Just off the mark. Discordia dashing just slightly away. Not sure if Geb would have hit her, but again, safety first. Stun is good on the Geb, but Geb with the Guardians less than fully stacked, as we do see Naja in trouble. The Geb shield is good. Suku used to jump over the wall. Cataclysm used. Yeah. Agni stuns. Agni with no mana. That dash used, and that was an Naja ult. Discordia managing to ult as Jingwei picks up the Naja. Discordia having to beat that Naja ult as Cern looking again, beads on the Awelix. Awelix having to jump safety, Bacchus jumping in, beads from the Cern, Jingwei poking out, beads and Aegis from the Cern. This might be the Gold Fury attempt they're looking for. As they are starting it up, they need to be a bit careful. Two of their members low, and they just unleash it as RTO has rotated over from solo lane. Knockoff is good, Bacchus flop good. And they've given up control of this Gold Fury. I think now around the gods with this RTO rotation need to force this Gold Fury right now. They will probably lose a T1. Yep, RTO teleport down for another 75 seconds. So they really need this Gold Fury because they're going to lose T1 in solo. As Hihai picks up Chamberlain and looks to pressure out the backers. As we do see Agni and Cern going for that Gold Fury. Well, this donut happens, the back assault is down, the flop is just off the mark. Wheelix out of position. Cataclysm zoning out free, and they've just dropped the Gold Fury. If we look in the right hand lane, the tower just about surviving. The proxy Ares and Big Rick picks up the backers in the middle, but gets immediately dove on by the Wheelix. Stun is good, and Wheelix having to move. Use that dash over, but we'll die to it, and this is now a 5-on-3. Will we see them managing to pick up the Gold Fury this time? Jingwei is still up with an ult, but I think she's too late for the rotation. The ult, it does come out, and I'm not too sure about that ultimate usage. And Ares does ult. I think Geb should. Oh no, doesn't get the CC immunity off. Horrific out, but I think Geb will fall here. That must have been a matter of milliseconds. That is so unfortunate for the Geb. Unfortunate for the Geb. Great timing from the Ares as Naja is around that middle lane. Discordia Apple just missing Big Rick on the ricochet. And they managed to save their T1 tower for the moment. So as we're at this sort of stage of the game now, I think I would like to see the Jingwei begin to build some crit here. Don't think she's got really enough gold to back at this precise stage, but 2 levels above the Sun. Sun doing a lot more player damage, just Jingwei farming better again with that passive allowing her to, as Chamberlain is pushing this tower. Sorry, I thought he was alone, but Naja was on the Bacchus was there, but does die to that Naja ult, and can Battlegrounds of the Gods begin to put some pressure in mid lane. They have a 5v3 here, Ares rotated over, we'll be here in about 5 seconds. It's into a 5v4, but Ares ult will be up, and does pick up the Agni, but beams used on the Agni. Discordia managing to stand out that RTO. Ares chain, good. Not able to find the third chain on a more squishier target. I think they'll just continue to drop to position. The stun on Chamberlain good. She have to use the dash out. Not losing too much health here. Agni having the bank cross online means her staying. Agni's staying will be better than Discordia's at this stage of the game. Just trying to poke out. The stun is good. Get shield having to be used a bit early here. This is interesting. This is a 4-on-2 fight. I think they need to push this because Solo's gone to get that T1 in the right lane, and Jingwei is in the left lane. Again, she's got a very quick way back as the teleport is coming out from the RTO to get back to save that T1 tower. Oh, Wheelix dashing in, gets knocked up by the Geb, not able to put out any damage. We're still with ult if backers can find this knock-up pick. I believe it. We'll just go back to farming. So this stage of the game, Battlegrounds the goals with 6 kills to get paper scissors 5 graphs. For a 21-minute game, pretty much even, just 500 difference either way. But Cern has made a huge rotation in solo. Can they pick up this Ares? The ult is good on the Ares. Damage really coming out of the Ares. Ares ult is good, managing to only pick up the RTO. RTO will get pulled under the tower. And Cern auto attacks. Ares using the tower to block some of those auto, having to Aegis. I think Ares should fall here as Naja picks up a kill. Calculated does find this Ares, and they will find T1 tower. That is now 5 versus 3. Jingwei is pushing down that left lane. She will get that T2 as well. Squadia getting the T1 in mid, but is alone in the at the moment. A lot happening at that 21-minute stage right there. Squadia trying to invade this red buff. Geb rolling out. I don't think she'll have enough to secure it. And no. Agni managed to secure the red buff, about half HP. I think they'll just back out for the moment. Will be a primal fury spawning in about 30 seconds. So I'm just trying to find the right graph here. As we can see, just feels like there's not as many wards placed as there were in the first game at this stage of the game. Whether that's intentional or just there's been too much happening on the map that they've not been able to really fight for that ward coverage. As we do see the Gold Fury now up. XP and gold difference spiking between that 500 to 1,000 range for each team. As Gold Fury is started up by Battlegrounds of the Gods, will they be able to secure it before? Yep, Cataclysm forced out the Geb to stop the backers sort of ulting in, belly flopping and ulting to try and secure that Gold Fury, and Battlegrounds of the Gods picking up that Gold Fury. Again, forcing that gold difference to be pretty much negligible at this stage of the game. As they will look to force down this T1 tower. Managing to secure it. Agni dashing in, stuns just off the mark. Just be careful, Ares ult is going to be up. Imagine this is them looking towards Pyromancer. They've got Sentry Ward, they know Battlegrounds have got stuff. Ares is the only one knowing they're doing this. Won't be able to do anything. Nice attempt. Just trying to chain through the wall. Oh, no, they do have a ward on it. Very surprised with the Sentry Ward from Get Paper Scissors. They didn't take out Battleground of the Gods ward. Sash is good for Naja, but she will get stunned out. Geb shield is good. Oh, in the air. Will this be enough? Geb is below for Cataclysm if he needs it. But nope, we'll pick up Chamberlain. And this is now a 5-on-4 fight. Black's having to dash out. It's trying to do background, managing to pick up the Agni 4-on-4. Oh, coming out from the Jingwei as a precaution. Will RTO try and chase down these kills with the Cern. Black's having to dash out. Naja managing to pick up the Awilix in the backline. Awilix looking to get away to safety now. As RTO is still rushing down this. Ares chains are good. Yep, in the backline, Cataclysm is good. The Aegis coming out from the Jingwei. Ult from Ares. I don't think there's enough here. Bacchus is just waiting in the jungle, seeing if he's needed. I think Geb will fall here to the tower. And Ares, yep. Bacchus does flop into the backline, going on the RTO. RTO stuns out and should be able to get away. That was a huge team fight, trying to just get pressure. It just sort of snowballed, but Get Paper Scissors will pick up the T1 in solo. And Yeah, Battleground squads aren't paying attention. That left, Agni just rotating over now to take out that left lane. I was going to say, big minion build up in that left lane. Naja currently sitting at 6-1-2. Interesting. Not really. We've seen Naja played in that jungle role, mainly being a support, but still managing to put out the damage. But still managing to find those kills even in the jungle. As we see, Geb Paper Scissors really trying to fight for that ward coverage. Ares missing the chain and starting the fire giant. That does knock up the Bacchus. Knock up just off the mark. Agni bombs are good just to zone them out. Weelix about half HP. Naja possibly looking to stun is good. Taking them to the sky. Geb is below. Ares ult is used up. I think Sem will find this kill on the Bacchus. Yes, he does. RTO in that back line. Geb gets picked up for his trouble. RTO looking low. Discordia with a perfect stun, managing to find the kill, and then Jingwei managing to pick up the Cern, and this is now a 3v2. RTO very low, needs to be a bit careful here. Jingwei will follow with chase, gets stunned out. Ares chain is good. RTO will not be able to escape here. That was a great pickup from Geb Paper Scissors. Again, gold pretty much negligible, but Geb Paper Scissors about 3,000 in lead on the XP. Will they look to do this fire giant? Two very low, but have they got enough to do it? Only Naja really on the outskirts, but the ring toss might be able to steal it or even secure some damage, and I think they're just going to be forced off it. Jingwei's the only one tanking this at the moment. Just forced Naja off, and I think, yep, they have to reset it and back. Geb coming in. Geb should have a ward to sort of put vision on this. Yep. And Battlegrounds, the gods will claim the vision on the fire giant for the time being. Bring out some of those aggressive wards. I don't think they know Only Fury is up, so Jingwei starting this. Cern is close by. Agni also. I think she just drop this. This is not going to be clean for either team. This could go either way. And Geb Paper Scissors do manage to pick up the Only Fury, and I believe it was appropriately Geb picking it up. Sorry, Geb Paper Scissors don't have the Geb. Sorry, that was my bad. Geb just missing out from his 2 ability to secure that. And now Battlegrounds of the Gods need to be very, very careful. As we can see, those Only Waves are going to slowly push down the waves. Get Paper Scissors looking for this RTO. The knock up just off, managing to escape. But they can either push with this Only Wave to try and get Phoenix, or they can look towards this Fire Giant. Knowing that Battlegrounds of the Gods are going to have to choose to either defend lanes or take this fight at the Fire Giant. I think they've cleared the Only Wave out in mid. Yep, pretty much, so that's not going to be an issue. It's the one in the left lane that's going to be the issue, the first wave from Fire Giant. I don't think they can commit a member over there. A Weelix back into base, so... Interesting. There is a Blood Forge on the Weelix that should give her a bit more sustain if she manages to get the kill in the fight. As RTO is burst down to about half HP. The ult from Kaelin is good, and that will pick up the RTO. But the Agni Bombs do come in a bit of retaliation in the back line. And Naja will fall in that back line. Now a 5v3 as Ares chains are good. B's forced out on the Cern. Cern backing away. Geb Paper Scissors just need to keep this fight going. Kaelin picking up the kill on the Geb. They will get the left Phoenix. Unfortunate for the Cern. Jingwei having to back off. Not able to find that final auto attack. And Agni will fall to the rest of the team. Geb Papers is playing that extremely well. Cern trying to rotate to the right lane to save that Phoenix. I think Geb Papers just need to sort of either get this fire giant, or back, regroup for that fire giant with Battlegrounds of Gods about to spawn, their main damage dealer being that Agni who can steal it. Down for another 20 seconds, they will get this T2 in the mid lane. As I believe they'll just get the Pyromancer for the time being. If we look to the graph, it was pretty much even for about 27 minutes of the game, but now it's all been Geb Paper Scissors. Really expanding out their lead as they will start up the fire giant. We do have Geb close by. Geb taking a slightly wider line. Don't think they know he's there. Geb blinks in Cataclysm, knocks the wall up. Not sure if that was the right call, but Geb Paper Scissors do manage to secure that fire giant. And they will pick up the Geb as well, as Cern is split pushing in that left lane. It is being pinged out on the map. I think someone's going to have to back and deal with him. But I think Cern's just trying to buy time for his team. And I do like the blink ult in from the Geb, but using that knock-up ability on 4 members of the team, but there was no one else on his team sort of around him to scale any damage on the fire giant. I think he just needed to turn around and hit the fire giant and hope for the best. As Geb Paper Scissors begin to push down this left lane with the Awilix and Jingwei. Again, interesting this game. Jingwei not going into the crit build. About 16,000 player damage, 4,500 behind Cern at this stage of the game. Don't think it will matter too much to the Jingwei, but as they have Fire Giant and they will be pushing down this left side Phoenix. It's interesting to note Discordia are about 6,000 damage ahead of the Agni in mid as they push into the Phoenix. The Agni bombs are good, Awilix ult is down, Awilix having to dash away. Will they manage to pick up kill here? Geb Cataclysm is good, they managed to pick up the Bacchus, they managed to pick up the Discordia, and they will look to force this fight. Ares chains are good, I think Ares will fall here. I think he's doing great, zoning around this way, forcing the team this side, allowing his team to play that way. And wow, RTO chasing those backliners, but managing to get picked off by the combination of Jingwei and Awilix. And of course, Ares will fall. But there's nothing really apart from to push lane to try and get this Fire Giant. But as we can see, Fire Giant started up by Geb Paper Scissors. Naja does sash in. Is there the ult just off the mark? Claim the oracles and they will claim Primal Fury. The Fire Giant spawning in about 2.5 minutes. It's good to get, but it's not the most important. If they had an only Fury there, that would have been a much bigger gain. As Battlegrounds of the Gods will look to push in this T2 Phoenix. I imagine they should have enough pressure to sort of get it, but their minion wave is nowhere near. Someone's going to have to tank tower. Geb shields himself, that is a big shield. Knock up is good from the Bacchus. And Cern will fall. And now Geb Paper Scissors. As Battlegrounds of Gods did at the Phoenix line, they are doing it at the T2 line, chasing this down the lane. Naja, Geb shield is out, but Naja in a world of trouble here and will fall. The stun is good off the Agni, but I think really Cataclysm is good, but not managing to stop the Bacchus. Bacchus managing to dive backline. RTO managed to get stun off, but Discordia, nope. Managed to get stunned. The ult is good from Discordia. RTO is going to have to step forward. Just Geb shield does stop any further CC appearance as the Ares blinks in and ult, and they've managed to pick up the RTO. They've got the Geb. Just Agni alive for Battlegrounds of the Gods, and I believe this will be the game. That was very well played by Geb Paper Scissors, managing to turn around that T2 fight. as the knock-up is good, and they just pick up the Agony for good measure. And that was an amazing into the end game. Get paper scissors taking the set 2-0. Wow. I think there was a slight misplay from Battlegrounds of the Gods there at that final T2 fight. I understand the sort of Geb shield on himself, but it's a Geb. He should have... well, we can check the stats now. Health-wise, he was close to 3,000 health. I think he can take some of those tower shots. I don't think he needs to use the shield that early. And the fact he used the shield on himself pretty much allowed a free reign on Bacchus to go into that back line, managing to get the knock up, a Weedix managing to get the pull in. And that just absolutely turned that T2 fight. So, but again, these teams both did extremely well. Just a couple of misplays here and there, and the game swings. Look at the damage chart again. Junglers, I would say pretty much even. 7-3, 9-4. You can't ask for too much more from your junglers, but as we see, Carnage for Geb Papers going 6 kills, 0 deaths, 13 assists. Again, damage-wise, it's about the same as the Cern, but just managing to find those picks and really helping his team sort of snowball along the way. Again, Nevaeh in mid, a couple of going 3 deaths more than kills, but the damage-wise was about the same as the Discordia, so it's not too much you can complain about the Agony there. I think it was just a couple of bad positionings and team fights they took. So yeah, with that, this is the end of Game 2. Get paper scissors with the victory, and I look forward to seeing you all next time.